struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait. Choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, live better with Aja Nutrition.
Time check. Courtesy Alive by Nature's Way. Distributed by H&J Enterprises Limited.
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the 7 p.m. news here on CNC3. I'm Doris Polo. Let's tell you what's making the news tonight. Despite rainy start, the capital erupts in color, music and mass as masqueraders dazzle through the city streets. Socadrome's new carnival layout draws criticism, while Marshall Montano's performance inspires a moment of love. Tonight, we share your pick for Road March.
In sport, New Zealand and Australia go in the opposite direction in the ICC T20 Cricket World Cup in Asia.
It's the last lap on the road for bands and masqueraders as Carnival 2026 comes to an end in just a few hours. But the revelry in Port of Spain was off to a rainy start today. It wasn't enough, though, to dampen the spirits of masqueraders and onlookers. The Lost Tribe was among the first in the large band category to approach the judging point. Despite the initial gloominess, masqueraders shimmered in intricate designs, radiant golds, oceanic blues, and bursts of fiery orange. As they crossed, music trucks pumped anthems that have defined the season. Marshall Montano's encore voices Can't Behave Myself and Bungie Garland's Roadman, sending waves of excitement through the early morning crowd. As the morning progressed, the clouds departed, casting a brilliant glow over South Key. The change in weather seemed perfectly timed. Bands like Paparazzi, Exusia, Hot Stuff Promotions, and Petal Mass Carnival followed in dazzling succession, each presenting sections that told stories through costume and movement. The Socadrome has firmly fixed itself as a Carnival Tuesday spectacle, but masqueraders and patrons alike were not too keen on the tweaks made to the alternative stage venue. Cameraman Gary Vincent and reporter Peter Christopher went to the Jean-Pierre complex to file this report.
The Socadrome had much of its familiar fanfare, appearances by some of Carnival's most popular bands, people overcoming obstacles to be a part of it, famous faces from sporting, cultural and political backdrops, with Public Utilities Minister Barry Padarat playing Mass in Bliss, while Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander toured with Top Cop Alistair Guevara. But there was a change in the setup of Carnival's alternate layout, which did not win the hearts of those in attendance.
They reject Socadrome for 2026. As I got here, a masquerader pulled me aside and said he was not impressed with the facility. So we went into the stands to get a feeling as to how we will feel about this year's Socadrome.
What Socadrome ever see? I know what she's trying to do with the government, trying to do with the Carnival. And tourists and down, there are not plenty tourists coming in. They are not begging them to hold everybody. Plenty people who live in here.
The Socadrome's existence in Carnival 2026 was in limbo briefly, as a ban was placed on the use of state-owned sporting venues for Carnival events by Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar. But the Socadrome was given a window to return for Carnival. The stage was placed in between the Jean-Pierre complex and the Hazley Crawford Stadium, with bleachers placed east of the stage. But patrons unable to get those seats were not pleased.
It's really different from what we are accustomed to, based on, now I'm upstairs here and I really cannot see much in terms of the whole mass experience coming onto the stage, you know, and then it's like now you have less movement, less space, and we're still in the stadium, but right now I am just waiting to go outside because it really not making much sense.
Record-seeking soca hitmaker Marshall Montano, however, did his best to make sure those seated in the stadium were not left out as he performed his Road March Contender encore to Tribe masqueraders at the venue. A few moments later, one of his major competitors' voice also was on top of a truck performing his contender Can't Behave. But Marshall's performance at the Socadrome became a moment to remember for Andrea Hill as she accepted Jonathan Mannion's proposal. A moment to savor in the setting. Peter Christopher, CNT3 News.
Thanks so much, Peter. Well, San Fernando Carnival Tuesday got off to a guarded but colorful start as 17 bands hit the road in a renewed push to revive mass in the South City. But this year, apart from financial cuts in allocation, the annual Midnight Mass celebrations were also shut down, triggering outrage among revelers. Here's Radhika De Silva and Ivan Tulsi with more.
Colorful masqueraders danced on the streets of San Fernando on Carnival Tuesday as police kept watch. Hours earlier, a high-level security threat had shut down Monday's Midnight Mass, causing outrage among vendors, bar owners, revelers, and city officials.
We didn't have a Midnight Mass band, but I know it was very disappointing. But from what I heard, it was police intelligence said that something was about to happen. They had intelligence that it would not be safe, and they cut it off. But I don't know how the people that invested in the bands and paid for the costume, how they feel about that. I know they would be disappointed that they didn't cross the stage, but I don't know how could we compensate them back for that time and that effort.
But Mayor Robert Parris says the shutdown could have caused a riot, and he wants answers as to why the mass was suspended.
What occurred last night on Harris Promenade, you can imagine how scared I was that something would have occurred on the promenade. I was literally praying that it didn't turn into a riot because there was no understanding and no explanation as to why. We understand that the TTPS has their job to do. Certainly we abide by the laws of Trinidad and Tobago, but at least give us a reason why.
Despite the setbacks, band leaders say they will do their best to keep San Fernando's carnival alive.
Well, as normal, it always dead. That's why we come out a little lively up the place. Oh, it go. It's a band leader, Juice and Associate. I didn't bring my band this year, so I'm going down to kind of my section here to line with our next band.
And Fire Nation band owner Sasha Sinanan says although new masqueraders came out this year, there is still room for improvement.
Yes, we have seen the mass dying, but that is what, the numbers are small, spectator numbers are small, but we were fortunate enough to recruit enough masqueraders to, let's say, to start that transition to recreate or reinvent San Fernando Mass.
Some spectators also gave their recommendations.
I think they should have more vocal drumbeats and traditional characters incorporated in all the other bands.
And as the celebrations came to an end, organizers say the focus now is on rebuilding momentum and restoring San Fernando's place on the national carnival map. Radhika De Silva, CNC3 News.
That's radical. Let's tell you what's still to come in the news. Opposition leader Penelope Beckles blasts the Prime Minister over remarks on political stooges masquerading as Calypsonians. She's demanding a retraction and apology.
Folks, take a look at all these medical conditions. What does it have in common? This, ITIS. But what does ITIS really mean?
The suffix itis denotes inflammation of a specified organ or tissue.
ITIS really means inflammation. How do we combat chronic inflammation? Through lifestyle changes. Then, and only then, make sure you're getting enough omega-3 fatty acids.
Always consult a qualified medical professional before starting any supplements.
cherished moments echo on for generations. For all the moments I value, Quartz has and will always be my store. Quartz, bringing value home.
Visit Tire Clinic Marketing, New Truck and OTR Tire Service Center at number 30 and 32 Montrose Main Road, Chaguanas. Call today at 665-8973 or 672-3419. Alignment services available. Tire Clinic Marketing, Truck and OTR Service Center. A tire for every need.
Pain. So like I have no pain since using Omega XL.
For those who try Omega XL and they say it didn't work, try it again.
Remember, you deserve the best. Choose Omega XL.
Cold or flu? Take Panadol multi-symptoms. Relief in minutes. 7 cold and flu symptoms. Panadol. Release starts here.
Struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait. Choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, live better with Aja Nutrition.
Get a free pair of polarized sunglasses with the purchase of new Gen S Transitions lenses with anti-reflective coating and frames. Selected designer frames now just $4.99 with additional promotions. Hurry, limited time only at Seaview Optical.
Welcome back. The fallout from microphone problems at Dimash Gra continues, with opposition leader Penelope Beckles urging government to educate themselves on Calypso. Jensen Levent caught up with the opposition leader at the Queen's Park Savannah earlier today, where some other familiar faces were spotted.
Opposition leader Penelope Beckles is calling on the government to educate themselves on Calypso. The advice comes on the heels of the faux pas that led to Calypsonian Helon Francis having mic problems at Dimash Gra. Since then, the government and TTT denied it was a form of censorship, which the opposition leader dismissed.
When you look at what happened with the semi-finals, that so many of the Calypsonians who sang songs that, you know, in the traditional Pekong style, that all of them did not qualify, that's rather strange. So I wasn't surprised.
Former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley stayed away from all the politics as he chipped away with Massey All-Stars. And when asked if he was behaving,
of course not.
One masquerader, Wayne Lee Singh, calls for traditional mass to be taught in schools.
People may not necessarily know what the meaning of the mass is in terms of the historical context of it. And, you know, it's part of the rebellion of, you know, post-slavery rebellion, mass and carnival and calypso, and they came out of that, right? So, I don't know. Yeah. As long as it's taught in the schools, I think we'll be okay.
Playing for the first time with Lost Tribe, Culture Minister Michelle Benjamin promised to play with them again.
It was performance right through, and I'm honored to be playing with Tribe. It was amazing.
First time playing with Tribe?
It is, because I usually, yes, it's my first time. It was...
One more!
So amazing, I'll be back next year.
And while Tuco officials refused to divulge any information on the road march race, soca star Desha Garcia had her favorites.
I love Masha. We sing a song together. I love Galen. He's been my friend for the longest while. Started our career together, so he's special to my heart. But oh God, I can't behave myself. I can't pick. I love them all. May the best man win.
Jensen Lavend, CNC3 News.
Thanks, Jensen. Well, 100 out of 10. That's the rating Public Utilities Minister Barry Padarathe gave the 2026 Carnival celebrations in St. James this afternoon. Padarathe spoke about the experience on the road Carnival across the country and even commended the work of the artists this year.
I'm very pleased. I think it has been a phenomenal experience for masqueraders throughout the country. We have brought back regional carnival, and there are celebrations apart from Port Spain. There are celebrations across the country. So I think people are very enthused. They're very happy
with the production of Carnival 2026. I gotta give kudos to all of our artists this year. They really brought their A game, and it is really fight to the finish.
Many tourists were among the thousands on the road today showcasing their vibrant costumes and infectious energy. Many of them say they have fallen in love with our culture and also got caught up in the intense battle for Road March. Angelo Jedediah and Crystal James tell us more.
This was the liberating spirit felt by thousands of revelers crossing the main stage at the Queen's Park Savannah, a long-standing cultural tradition for masqueraders on Carnival Tuesday. From dozens of traditional mass bands to some of the most extravagant creations, it all attracted foreign visitors eager to take part, some willing to spare no effort to be part of the full Carnival experience.
First time, I had fun yesterday, I'm gonna have fun again today. Shoot.
Most of the song is very nice, yeah. Excited, yeah. And are you enjoying Carnival?
Yes,
But just like many Chimbigonians, foreigners too found themselves caught up in the intense Road March battle.
I think voice.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like the vibe of
gives
Trinidad.
You
it's just like
more
gives you
hype.
energy. Yeah.
It was Marshall Encore. Was that your favorite? I would have preferred Capital, but Encore was. I knew it was going to be the one. It's going to be the one.
That's what song I like. Can't behave. My voice as well.
But no matter who takes the Road March title, one thing is true. This year's music and mask costumes have certainly brought us all together on the big stage. Angelo Jedediah, CNC3 News.
Well, no winner is declared yet, but today we asked who do you think will take the Road March title. Here's what you had to tell us.
The People Say, brought to you by Excel Health TT, the official supplement of the CPL.
Marshall. Encore. All the way.
I like voice. I Can't Behave Myself. I really like that tune.
I like Can't Behave Myself.
Get them, boy. Get them. Marshall Montano.
So I really like Voicey, but it looks like on the road right now, it's going to be Marshall performance on Encore. It's going to be that.
For me, had to be Voice. Come on, we have no behavior. Let's go. Voice for the win.
Bungie! High five, Bungie! I'm supporting you! Definitely Bungie. Yow!
The People Say, brought to you by Excel Health TT, the official supplement of the CPL.
While thousands of masqueraders filled the streets of the capital today, Chaguanas' Carnival is also being hailed a major success. Although band presentations did not officially begin until 5 p.m., Chair of the Chaguanas Carnival Committee, Melissa Jadunanan, told CNC3 News this year's celebration was nothing short of epic. She highlighted the addition of a newly constructed stage, saying the festivities were both enjoyable and safe. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has also reported an incident-free carnival in Chaguanas. A total of 14 bands are expected to cross the stage, adding to what organizers describe as one of the most memorable editions of the celebration. Two cousins from Laventille are tonight scheduled for emergency surgery after being injured between two trailers during Juve celebrations in St. James on Carnival Monday. The women, aged 23 and 24 of Upper St. Barb's Road, were injured around 9 a.m. on Damien Street when two bands attempted to pass each other. As one DJ urged revelers to move left, the cousins reportedly tried to cross between the trailers and were pinned. One sustained a broken hip and internal bleeding, while the other suffered extensive injuries to her pelvis and chest. Both were rushed to the St. James Infirmary, then transferred to the Port of Spain General Hospital. Licensing division officers later impounded one of the trailers, while the other was allowed to leave. A Form 3 student of Malabar Secondary has died after being shot at his Lahakita home last night. The victim has been identified as 16-year-old Ezekiel Moore of Gladius Crescent. Reports say Moore's father was on the phone with his mother around 7:25 p.m. when he heard a noise outside. On approaching the front door, he saw two armed men entering the unfenced property. As he tried to close the door, the suspect circled to the back and entered through an open door. He was then alerted by his other children that Ezekiel, who had been in a bedroom, had been shot. Despite efforts to save him, Ezekiel Moore was pronounced dead at 7:51 p.m. Police Commissioner Alista Guevara has commended the public for heeding their warnings to celebrate responsibly during the Carnival festivities and within the limits of the law. Speaking with reporters during a walkabout in Port of Spain earlier today, Guevara insisted their security blanket had achieved the desired results. This despite two fatal incidents in St. James and Woodbrook yesterday, which he maintained were not related to the festivities.
Thus far, we have seen no Carnival-related homicides. We even had one last night in the Northern Division, again, not related to Carnival whatsoever. So thus far, the security strategy and the apparatus has been working.
Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander and Defense Minister Wayne Sturge said they are pleased with how everything had been handled.
Yes, I am quite satisfied with the efforts from the national security perspective and the majority of our citizens. I am really impressed. Their behavior, the way they're caring about their business and enjoying themselves, both showing respect to visitors and to themselves. I am impressed.
Also coming in for high praise from their line minister, Wayne Sturge, was the members of the TNT Defense Force who were deployed alongside police officers to buffer the numbers and ensure there was adequate personnel present on the ground to respond to any eventuality. Still to come in sport, West Indies women's captain Hayley Matthews confident ahead of Sri Lanka series.
Get a loan at Bremont. The process is simple. Fast and efficient approvals. Receive funds within 24 hours once approved. And no penalty for early repayment. Located at 4 Gallas Street, Woodbrook. Remember, we like to lend.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered.
Folks, take a look at all these medical conditions. What does it have in common? This, ITIS. But what does ITIS really mean?
The suffix itis denotes inflammation of a specified organ or tissue.
ITIS really means inflammation. How do we combat chronic inflammation? Through lifestyle changes. Then, and only then, make sure you're getting enough omega-3 fatty acids.
Always consult a qualified medical professional before starting any supplements.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
Jump Up Therapy with Astamin is here this Carnival season because you know the road don't be easy. Astamin helps support energy, stamina and recovery so you can go fet to fet and still be jumping up on the road. Make sure to power up with Astamin this Carnival season. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Move from CXC to your business management degree in just over 2 years with the globally and ACTT recognized ABE qualification at CTS College. Students with limited CSEC passes or mature candidates with work experience can enroll. Each level can be completed in under 6 months, with a diploma awarded upon completion of each level and a bachelor's degree awarded at the end of the entire program. Contact CTS College today and ask about our flexible payment terms.
Welcome back. We start sports with the news that New Zealand has booked their place in the ICC T20 World Cup Super 8 with an 8-wicket win over Canada at Chennai today. Ian Wason tells us how the match was a bittersweet one for Canada's Yuvraj Samra as well as Australia's elimination from the tournament.
New Zealand needed to win their final match against Canada to confirm their place in the Super 8. Canada chose to bat first and got a 116-run opening stand between Yuvraj Samra and Dilpreet Bajwa. Samra and Bajwa dominated the Kiwi bowling early, finding the boundaries without issues. The Kiwis finally got a breakthrough when Bajwa, after getting to 36, was caught by Glenn Phillips off the bowling of Kyle Jamieson. Samra went on to record his first T20 100 and was finally out for 110 as Canada closed on 173 for 4, setting the Kiwis 174 to win. New Zealand's reply was a bit shaky as they lost both openers Tim Seifert for 6 and Finn Allen for 21 and were 30 for 2 at the start of the 4th over. But the unbroken third-wicket partnership between Rachin Ravindra, who made 95 not out, and Glenn Phillips, who got 76 not out, took them safely over the line, getting the runs with 8 wickets in hand to win by 8 wickets. While they booked a place in the Super 8, Australia booked a place on a plane back home. They were eliminated when rain washed out Zimbabwe's match against Ireland at Palakele. Australia needed Zimbabwe to lose their remaining 2 matches, but the abandoned match today meant Zimbabwe got the point they needed to go to the Super 8. In the final match today, Nepal beat Scotland by 7 wickets at Wankhede. That was a look back at today's T20 World Cup matches. Ian Wason, CNC3 Sport.
West Indies women's captain Hayley Matthews is anticipating a good performance against Sri Lanka in a white ball series starting Friday in Grenada. Speaking ahead of the first ODI in St. George's on Friday, Matthews says it's good to have the younger players in the team, including Ria Liana Grimond and Chanel Sao for the series.
Them having the opportunity to watch me perform might be something to help them at the same time, but just encouraging them every single time. They're obviously young and have quite a lot to learn. But the good thing, I think, with the youngsters in our team is that they're all very keen, very hungry, and want to learn, want to get better, and want to improve. So
it's time for a break. We'll be right back.
With the cold and flu lurking around every corner, keeping your immune system strong allows you to live the life that you want every day. Discover BioStrath Immune Health. BioStrath Immune Health is a unique plasmalized yeast product that enhances the absorption of essential micronutrients, ensuring that your body stays resilient. And now enriched with zinc, it is your go-to support for immunity. Staying vibrant and healthy just became a whole lot easier. BioStrath Immune Health. Get what you need naturally.
Trinidad, the season of wins is here at Passat's The Food King and Bright Ideas. One season, many chances, big wins. From premium Le Roi chocolates to Moet champagne and fine wine to booming sound systems, fully loaded coolers, and even 50-inch smart TVs. Here's how you can enter to win. For every $300 spent at Passat's The Food King or Bright Ideas, you receive 1 entry form, fill it out, and drop it in the entry box. Weekly Carnival Cooler Line draws every Saturday and one massive grand finale. The season of wins ends on February 26th and the grand carnival draw on Saturday, February 28th. Shop, enter, and win in the season of wins.
Quality value, that's our way. The real Passats, we're here to stay. The Food King Passats.
Folks, take a look at all these medical conditions. What does it have in common? This, ITIS. But what does ITIS really mean?
The suffix itis denotes inflammation of a specified organ or tissue.
ITIS really means inflammation. How do we combat chronic inflammation? Through lifestyle changes. Then, and only then, make sure you're getting enough omega-3 fatty acids.
Always consult a qualified medical professional before starting any supplements.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has extended greetings to Christians and Muslims as Lent and Ramadan begin. Ramadan is set to begin on Thursday. In a national message, the Prime Minister said the Lenten season is a period of prayer, fasting and repentance leading to Easter, while Ramadan centers on fasting, prayer and charity. She quoted from the Holy Bible and the Holy Quran, saying both observances link fasting with discipline and care for the vulnerable. Persad-Bissessar said citizens are gathering in churches and mosques across the country and noted that protective forces and national security agencies have implemented measures to allow safe participation. Meanwhile, opposition leader Penelope Beckles-Robinson said Lent must not only be personal but also communal. She said society is invited to renew its commitment to justice, solidarity and the common good. And now for tomorrow's weather forecast. The Met Office says a generally sunny day with variable cloud cover and patchy showers are expected at times. Mild to moderate concentrations of Saharan dust are expected through the week. Tomorrow's maximum forecast temperature in Trinidad is 32 degrees and 30 in Tobago. Seas are moderate with waves near 2 meters in open waters, choppy near showers in sheltered areas. And thank you so much for joining us for the 7 p.m. news here on CNC3. I'm Doris Polo. On behalf of the rest of the team, have a great evening.